Chosen one. The moment you pressed play, something shifted in the spirit. You are not here by curiosity, coincidence, or chance. Heaven has summoned you. This moment was written into your timeline long before you ever knew wealth, elevation, or destiny were even possible. Your spirit felt the pull before your mind understood it, because this is a divine appointment, a sacred meeting orchestrated by God Himself. Anointed one, you are standing at the threshold of a supernatural breakthrough, the kind that happens suddenly, silently, and undeniably. A divine wealth transfer is drawing near. A heavenly elevation is preparing to lift you into rooms your name has never entered, yet your spirit has already visited. What was once delayed is now aligning. What was hidden is now being revealed. What was withheld is now being released. For as it is written in Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 3, the vision waits for an appointed time, and though it seems delayed, it will not lie. It will surely come. Chosen one, breathe deeply. Something holy is being set in motion around you. This is not just an introduction, this is an activation. Heaven is preparing you for a blessing so great, even your silence will testify. Let your spirit be awake. Your moment has begun. Chosen one. There are moments in life when something shifts inside you before anything around you changes, a quiet knowing that heaven has placed its hand upon your path. You may not see the evidence yet, but your spirit already feels the tremor of divine movement. I've lived through seasons where nothing seemed to grow, where every door felt sealed shut, where effort looked wasted and prayers felt unanswered. Yet even then, something sacred was happening beneath the surface, a preparation I didn't understand until much later. And now, chosen one, you stand in that same holy turning point, a moment when the soil that once rejected you is beginning to awaken. What felt barren before is starting to respond, not because you worked harder, but because heaven breathed on your obedience. I've witnessed this in my own life, the sudden return of opportunities I thought had passed me by, the unexpected favor from places that once overlooked me, the quiet reversal of battles I thought I lost. These weren't accidents, they were signs that God was moving silently, steadily, just as He often does with those He calls. Anointed one. This is your silent season, the sacred stretch of time when God begins His greatest works without announcing them. Blessings that are loud rarely last, but the blessings birthed in silence become foundations no storm can shake. I remember learning this the hard way, thinking that breakthrough would come with noise, applause, or some dramatic shift. But heaven rarely works that way. True blessings rise like the sunrise, quiet, steady, unstoppable. And the same way the light climbs the horizon without a single word, you too are being called to rise without explanation. This moment is not only about financial change or open doors. It is about receiving a mantle, a spiritual weight that separates the called from the chosen. Wealth, when it comes from God, is never random. It is tied to purpose woven into destiny. And with that purpose comes responsibility, not to impress others, not to seek validation, but to carry the blessing with maturity. I've seen how people reacted when my life started to shift. Some were happy for me, but others grew uncomfortable because my growth exposed their stagnation. And you will see this too, chosen one. Not everyone around you can handle your rise. Some loved you more when you struggled because your pain made them feel safer. But as your light grows, it will reveal shadows in others, and that revelation isn't meant to shame them. It's meant to free you. God is pulling you out of cycles, environments, and relationships that cannot hold what He is placing inside you. That is why He whispers, "Move quietly." Silence is not hiding, it is strategy. It is the fence around the seed that has just begun to sprout. When I first began to taste increase, I wanted to share it, celebrate it, prove that the years of struggle were worth it. But every time I announced too early, the blessing felt attacked, misunderstood, or drained by wrong connections. I learned that some things must be protected in the hush of wisdom until they are strong enough to stand. Chosen. One heaven is training you in private so you can carry in public what others would drop. The habits you're building now, the discipline forming in secret, the humility being shaped in you, these are not small things. They are the foundation for everything God is preparing to release. So as you step toward this divine assignment, take a moment to acknowledge what is happening within you. This is not just increase, this is transformation. Let your heart respond. You are being invited into a deeper way of walking, a higher way of thinking, a quieter way of rising. And as you move into this new rhythm, understand something essential. Abundance is not the finish line. It is the battlefield where heaven watches your heart more closely than your hands. When your blessing arrives, will your spirit remain anchored? Will your gratitude remain pure? Will you whisper thank you, or will you feel the temptation to shout, "Look at me"? Pride doesn't begin with wealth. It begins with forgetfulness. I've walked through both lack and abundance, and I can tell you the real test isn't what you gain, it's what you remember. Those who remain rooted, those who do not forget who opened the door, they carry their blessing with grace. The chosen walk differently. They move with a quiet authority that does not need to compete or boast because they know who sent them. I've met people who had everything yet lacked peace, and I've met those with little who radiated strength. The difference was never the money, it was the heart. Wealth will not change you, it will reveal you. And that is why this moment is so holy, chosen one. God is preparing you not just to receive increase, but to sustain it, to manage it, to protect it. The early stages of your elevation are fragile. They must be handled with reverence. This is why heaven teaches you through stillness, through quiet acts of generosity, through moments when no one sees your giving but God. Because the Father who sees in secret rewards in ways no human applause ever could. Your rise will not be fueled by noise, but by alignment. And as you move through this season, every step you take in silence is strengthening your foundation for the abundance ahead. Chosen one. As this sacred journey unfolds, you will notice something shifting, not only around you, but within you, a sharpening of your discernment, a deepening of your awareness, a quiet strength rising in places where fear once lived. I've walked through seasons where blessings began to appear, but confusion tried to rise with them, where new doors opened, yet old voices whispered doubts, and I learned that not every opportunity is divine. Some doors glow, yet they lead nowhere. Some people clap, yet their hearts are not aligned with yours. And in moments like these, heaven teaches the chosen to move with wisdom rather than excitement. Anointed one. This season requires a different walk, a quieter confidence, the kind that is not shaken by opinions or swayed by the desire to be seen. I remember a time when I began to experience increase, more open doors, more favor, more opportunities than I'd ever seen, and I felt the urge to grab everything, to say yes to everyone, afraid that if I didn't, the moment would slip away. But what I didn't know then is what I'm revealing to you now. Not every open door is meant to be walked through. Some doors are distractions dressed as blessings. Some assignments are traps masked as opportunities. And when God begins to elevate you, the enemy won't attack you with lack. He will attack you with noise. That noise can look like flattery invitations, new relationships, sudden attention, or the pressure to prove that you deserve what God is doing. But chosen one, you do not need to prove anything. Let your fruit speak. Let your consistency testify. Let your obedience answer questions your mouth never needs to address. As wealth begins to align with your life, heaven is not looking for performance. Heaven is looking for posture, and posture is revealed in silence. I've seen this in myself and in others who began to rise the moment the blessing arrives. The battlefield shifts. No longer are you fighting to survive. Now you are fighting to stay grounded, humble, alert, and aligned. Success brings a subtle danger, the temptation to forget the God who opened the door. This forgetfulness rarely roars. It whispers, you did this. It whispers, you don't need God as much anymore. It whispers comfort until comfort becomes complacency. And that is why God trains the chosen in silence before the blessing appears, so when the weight comes, your spirit does not collapse beneath it. Anointed one. Divine prosperity is not just financial, it's spiritual structure, emotional discipline, and mental clarity. I remember having moments where I felt God's blessing increasing around me, but my own habits were not prepared to hold what He was giving. It wasn't a lack of opportunity, it was a lack of order. Heaven blesses what is prepared, not what is reckless. And so in this season, God is not only elevating you, He is refining you. He is removing the hurry from your spirit, the fear from your decisions, and the need for validation from your heart. Because true wealth is carried by those who do not need to announce it. As I grew, I learned the power of moving quietly, paying off debts without announcing it, helping others without mentioning it, giving generously without expecting anything in return. And those sacred acts strengthened my spirit more than any applause ever could. Chosen one. This kind of quiet discipline is what builds unshakable legacy. When you choose silence, you protect what is still forming. When you choose stillness, you hear divine strategy. When you choose humility, you disarm every spiritual attack sent to derail you. And in that quiet, God begins to reveal what is truly yours. Some relationships were only meant for your struggle, not your success. Some hands were meant to help you survive, not to hold your blessing. Some people loved you small and will not know how to love you big. That does not make them evil. It simply means your new season does not match their old mindset. And God, in His mercy, separates before He elevates. Do not grieve the distance forming between you and certain people. Some connections are being pruned so your future can grow without distortion. I've lost people I once prayed to keep, but God showed me that elevation reveals hearts in ways struggle never could. When you rise, chosen one, motives rise with you. And this is why silence is your shield. Move quietly so heaven can expose what you cannot see. Walk softly so your discernment can grow stronger than your emotions. Rise humbly so your heart can carry what your hands are about to receive. This is not the season to broadcast. It is the season to build. The foundation forming beneath you is preparing for a blessing that will not be temporary but generational. And the quieter you become, the clearer heaven will speak. Chosen one. As you continue walking into this divine shift, you will begin to feel heaven guiding you, not just in your actions, but in your identity. There is a version of you that struggle shaped a version that lacked, taught a version that disappointment molded, but that version cannot cross into where God is taking you now. I've learned that when God begins to elevate you, He first elevates your self-perception, not your ego, not your pride, but your understanding of who you are in Him. Because if you enter a wealthy place with a wounded identity, the blessing turns into a burden. And so heaven begins the work within before releasing what belongs to you externally. Anointed One. There were years when I prayed for increase while still seeing myself unworthy of it. I wanted bigger opportunities, but carried a mindset that whispered, "You're not ready, you're not enough, you'll lose it like last time." It wasn't the enemy blocking me, it was the echo of old seasons speaking louder than the voice of God. And I feel this deeply for you. God is silencing the echoes. He is breaking the last chains of insecurity, fear, and self-doubt. Because the version of you stepping into this blessing must be rooted in truth, not trauma. You are stepping into a season where heaven wants you to see yourself as chosen, not lucky. Entrusted, not overlooked. Prepared, not fragile. And when you embrace this, the atmosphere around your life begins to shift. This inner transformation becomes your protection. Because rising without identity leads to collapse, but rising with clarity leads to authority. Chosen One. This is why silence is so essential. Not only does it protect what you are building, but it shields your spirit from voices that would distort your identity while it is still being refined. When I began my rise, I didn't realize how many people had opinions about a journey they had never walked. Some doubted me. Some questioned me. Some were secretly threatened by the version of me God was calling forward. And if I had listened to them, I would have shrunk back into the very version God was trying to deliver me from. But in the quiet, God affirmed what others couldn't see. In stillness, he showed me the strength he was placing inside me. Chosen One, you must guard your becoming. You are not just being blessed, you are being rebuilt. And part of that rebuilding is learning the difference between noise and guidance. Noise says hurry. Guidance says prepare. Noise says prove them wrong. Guidance says honor God. Noise says show them your blessing. Guidance says, protect what's sacred. And in this sacred season, heaven is tuning your ears to divine instruction. I've experienced moments where God's voice came not as a booming revelation, but as a quiet conviction, a sense that I needed to slow down, listen more, speak less, pray deeper, and steward differently. These subtle nudges became the keys to breakthroughs I never saw coming. You will begin to feel these same nudges. They may come as a sudden desire to reorganize your finances, or to distance yourself from certain environments, or to change habits that once felt harmless. These aren't random impulses, they are spiritual preparations. The blessing you've prayed for requires a lifestyle aligned with heaven's order. Anointed One. I remember when God began preparing me in ways I didn't understand. He taught me discipline before he trusted me with abundance. He strengthened my character before he multiplied my resources. And he removed my craving for applause before elevating my influence. Because applause can intoxicate the unprepared, but silence sobers the chosen. And in your quiet obedience, God is crafting a strength that cannot be shaken. As you walk through this alignment, you will begin to notice that your desires themselves are changing. You are no longer impressed by superficial success. You're drawn to purpose. You no longer crave validation. You crave clarity. You no longer chase opportunities. Opportunities begin to recognize you. This is the mark of someone heaven has begun to elevate. Blessings will come, but they will come in seed form first. And those seeds must be planted in the soil of your discipline, watered by your surrender, and protected by your silence. I have witnessed firsthand how early increase can be fragile. One wrong voice, One wrong partnership, one premature announcement can cause spiritual turbulence that delays what God intends to accelerate. But when you stay hidden in God, you stay protected. When you stay surrendered, you stay aligned. When you stay quiet, you stay guided. Chosen one. Your life is not expanding by accident. This is divine timing at work. Heaven releases increase only when your character can carry it, and you are being prepared to carry much more than finances. You are being entrusted with influence, with generational impact, with a mantle that will shift the direction of your life and the lives connected to you. And with this mantle comes weight, a holy responsibility. But do not fear it. God does not place weight on weak shoulders. If he is calling you higher, it is because he has strengthened you in secret. If he is entrusting you with more, it is because he has refined you through battles you thought you barely survived. You are stronger than you realize, more aligned than you know, and more prepared than you feel. And the heaven-backed increase approaching you will not overwhelm you. It will reveal you. This is the season where your identity catches up to your destiny. This is the season where your discipline becomes your protection. This is the season where silence becomes your strategy and wisdom becomes your wealth. And chosen one, as you continue forward, you will see that every step you take in obedience becomes a seed for the abundance ahead. You are being positioned, strengthened, and awakened for what comes next. Chosen one. As heaven continues to shape the vessel you are becoming, there will come a point where you begin to sense a holy separation taking place, not a separation born from conflict or pride, but a divine distancing meant to protect what is growing inside you. Every chosen one experiences this, though few recognize it for what it truly is. I've walked through seasons where people I once leaned on began to fade, where circles I once belonged to no longer fit, where conversations that once energized me suddenly felt empty. At first it felt like loss, like rejection, like the ground was shifting from beneath me. But later I realized it was God rearranging my surroundings to match my calling. Anointed. One elevation requires environment. You cannot rise while anchored to what drains you. The shift happening around you is not accidental, it is strategic. Heaven separates before it elevates, and many times the separation is silent. I learned this truth slowly. There were people who were perfect for my past, but dangerous for my future. Not because they were bad people, but because their mindset couldn't hold the magnitude of where God was taking me. When God calls you into greater stewardship, he also calls you into greater alignment. Your circle tightens, your focus sharpens, your path becomes clearer. And while others may not understand the changes in your behavior, your silence, your boundaries, your deeper devotion, you must trust what heaven is doing. You are not isolating yourself. You are incubating destiny, chosen one. This incubation season is holy. It is the hidden place where God pours wisdom into you, where he refines the parts of your character that will carry the weight of future wealth, where he strengthens your discernment, so you can tell the difference between an ally and an assignment. In this season, you might feel misunderstood, even misjudged, because people who are used to your availability will not understand your absence. But absence is sometimes obedience. When God begins to increase your influence, your management must become precise. Your time becomes sacred. Your space becomes intentional. Your energy becomes guarded. I've walked through this personally times when I sensed God pulling me away from crowded places so he could speak to me in quiet ones. Times when opportunities that looked appealing had to be rejected because they weren't aligned with what God was building within me. Times when I felt the internal tug to withdraw from noise so I could hear instruction. Every chosen one must learn that silence is not passive, it is powerful. It is in the quiet moments that heaven reveals strategy. And chosen one strategy is becoming your greatest currency. Wealth without wisdom collapses. Influence without instruction becomes dangerous. But strategy, God-breathed strategy, opens doors that human effort could never unlock. This is why God is slowing your spirit while accelerating your future. He's teaching you to move deliberately, not desperately, to respond, not react, to discern, not assume. And as you mature spiritually, you will notice that your appetite is changing. You are losing interest in conversations that don't carry substance, relationships that don't carry purpose, and habits that don't carry fruit. This is not you becoming distant. This is you becoming disciplined. Heaven is preparing you for responsibility that requires clarity. I remember when God first entrusted me with something significant. I didn't realize at the time how much discipline increase demanded. It wasn't just about managing finances. It was about managing me, my impulses, my reactions, my emotions. Increase magnifies whatever is inside you. And so God worked on my internal world before multiplying my external one. He taught me to pause before I spoke, to pray before I moved, to listen before I decided. And those lessons learned quietly became the pillars of everything He built through me later. Anointed one. Those same pillars are forming in you now. You may feel distant from your old life, but that is because your new life is calling. You may feel the tension between where you've been and where you're going, but tension is the signal that transformation is underway. And soon, that transformation will not only affect you, it will affect everything connected to you. God is not just preparing you to receive wealth, He is preparing you to steward legacy. Legacy requires maturity. Legacy requires obedience. Legacy requires the courage to walk differently, even when others do not understand your steps. And chosen one, you are being shaped into someone who moves with intentionality, who speaks with wisdom, who gives with purpose, who leads with humility. This version of you, this refined, disciplined, spiritually anchored version, is the one who can carry abundance without arrogance, who can hold influence without idolatry, who can walk in purpose without losing identity. Heaven is investing deeply in you because heaven plans to release deeply through you. Trust the refining. Trust the separation. Trust the silence. For everything God removes, He replaces with something greater. Everything He restricts, He does to protect. Everything He reorganizes, He does to prepare. And you, chosen one, are being prepared for more than increase. You are being prepared for impact. Chosen one. As you continue walking through this sacred refinement, you will begin to notice another layer of heaven's instruction unfolding, the reshaping of your inner rhythm. This is the part of the journey few talk about, yet it is one of the most essential. When God begins to elevate a person, He does not simply give them more. He teaches them how to move differently, think differently, respond differently. Elevation is not just an increase in what you hold, it is an upgrade in how you operate, and this internal upgrade often happens quietly beneath the surface, long before the external breakthrough shows up. I've lived through seasons where God changed my pace without changing my circumstances. Times when He slowed me down internally, even though life around me kept pushing me to speed up. At first, it felt frustrating, like being caught between old expectations and new instructions. But later, I realized that heaven was retraining my instincts. Because the instincts that helped you survive in struggle cannot guide you into abundance. In struggle, you move fast out of fear. In abundance, you must move wisely out of purpose. Chosen one. This is why God is teaching you the power of intentional stillness. Stillness is not inactivity. It is alignment. When your spirit becomes anchored, your decisions become accurate. When your mind becomes quiet, your discernment becomes sharp. I remember the first time I experienced this shift. It wasn't marked by miracles or dramatic signs. It was marked by clarity. A clarity that cut through confusion, a clarity that exposed distractions, a clarity that made it easy to say no to things I once felt obligated to do. And this clarity, chosen one, is coming upon you. You will begin to see that certain doors you once prayed for are